This is the Orioles POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Bucket Hat Chat is absolutely right. Good afternoon and good evening, everyone. My name is Luke Slaybaugh. This is the Baltimore Orioles postcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for joining me, and happy Father's Day. Tonight, we are celebrating an 11-2 win over the LA Angels and a sweep over LA. Thanks for joining me here. These shows stream live to YouTube. If you're not watching on the YouTube, I don't know what to tell you. We're going to have a great time today celebrating 3 wins in a row. And of course, I'm on a trip to the Midwest, business trip. Did not forget to bring this. Before we continue, how do I look? But also leave a comment in the chat. Let me know your thoughts on the game, your player of the game. I will reveal mine shortly. First block, a lot to get into. The Baltimore Orioles win this game 11-2 on this Sunday night. They enter the day 6.5 games out of a wild card spot. Minnesota Twins currently holding that 3rd spot. And with this win, the O's have swept the Angels after claiming the series yesterday. They improved to 10 games under 500 for the first time in a month. You have to go back to that Minnesota series and the regrets from back then. The O's are healthier. They're showing some prowess against left-handed pitching for the first time in forever. They're hitting with runners in scoring position. They're attacking. They're asserting themselves. And some unlikely heroes are stepping up to the plate. This is the best the Orioles have looked in a long time. And while that 10-1 win against Detroit earlier in the week could have signaled at the lethal potential of this offense, this win all but cements it against the team that is next in line for the O's to leapfrog in these American League standings. We can't hold back any longer. It's floppy hat time. 3 wins in a row for the Baltimore Orioles. And we got to award our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Release the Kraken. I remember Liam Neeson in the Clash of Titans 2010 film. Gary Snchez has sprouted off the injured list and contributed in a big way that a lot of O's fans probably weren't assuming he would. Back-to-back games with a home run, and this one, his 6th career grand slam. We'll take you bottom 7. O's are up 5-2 already. 1 out, Jordan Westburg pokes a single. Ramón Urías then stays back on a changeup against Connor Brogdon, the right-hander. Hits a double off the right field wall. The Angels then decide to intentionally walk Gunnar Henderson, which loads the bases for Ramon Laureano. Mention from Melanie Newman on the Masson broadcast that he was doing shots of hand-shaking espresso. We got to have a talk about that. He goes down swinging. So 2 outs, bases juiced for Gary Snchez. Opportunity of a lifetime. 1-1 count. Fastball high, a touch out of the zone at 95 from Brogdon. And it's a yak bomb from the Kraken. Left center field fence, back-to-back days with a home run for Gary Snchez. This one is a granny and makes it a 9-2 ball game. Put it out of reach and got the crowd at Camden Yards up on their feet in their straw hats. We talked yesterday, waxed a little poetic about the heart and hustle of this Baltimore Orioles team. We saw it come to fruition yesterday with some aggressive sends by Buck Britton at 3rd base, with the guys taking an extra base. And Gary Snchez, the most unlikely candidate, reserve catcher, probably put that heart and hustle meter through the roof, breaking the thermometer. We go an inning prior. Much different game. 3-2 ball game with 2 outs. Gary Snchez goes opposite field for a single, takes a curve ball outside the other way. Hit him where they aim, right? And so with 2 outs, Cedric Mullins at the plate does a little taboo. Something you wouldn't expect out of the team leader in home runs. With 11, Mullins lays down a bunt to the 3rd base side, thinking he can leg it out. And he does. Mullins probably beats the throw from southpaw and starter Yusei Kikuchi. However, Kikuchi airmails it into right field, deep right field. Not just it caromed off the screen and you may be taking extra base. This was a throw downfield. This was a four verticals type of throw. Gary Sanchez plugging away from first base, just chugging Thomas the Tank Engine around third and scores easily, making it a 4-2 ball game. And to add insult to injury, Kobe Mayo will drive him in with a double off the left field wall, just narrowly missing his first career home run. Good stuff out of the Orioles rookie today as well. Got a hanging changeup, knew exactly what to do with it, and made it a 5-2 ball game. I like to get on Twitter before the game, or the website formerly known as Twitter, X. A lot of saltiness about this lineup. It's like a regular Sunday lineup with some new faces. Luis Vazquez playing shortstop, 25-year-old, familiar with him from the Cubs organization. Limited hit tool. Looks the part. Looks athletic. But a lot of questions as to why no Adley? Why no O'Hearn? Why no Cowser? And some of that can be explained away with the left-handed matchup in Kikuchi. But I thought, all in all, Tony Mansolino did a good job with what he had to optimize against a southpaw. You want Dylan Carlson to get at bats. The matchup favors him. It didn't today. He struggled. His only single coming off a right-hander. Laureano you want in the lineup. Mayo against a left-hander. And Ramón Urías as well. Would have liked to have seen Adley, given his track record and history against Kikuchi, and him from the right side of the plate. But if you're trying to give people a regular day off, at least you have him available off the bench when push comes to shove. That's one thing you can say about the bench yesterday and the bench today. You're facing a left-hander, Tyler Anderson, yesterday, and you did, in a pinch, have O'Hearn and Cowser available if you needed them. Same type of deal today. And luckily, it doesn't come to that. The O's score back-to-back games with 5 runs or more against a left-hander. It's the first time all season that Kikuchi has given up 5. You want to talk about more about this heart and hustle? I'll take you bottom 4. Tie ball game. Gunnar Henderson pokes a leadoff double down the left field line against Kikuchi. That made him 8 for his last 16 against Southpaws. Laureano also going to left field for a single. Gunnar is sent from third base by Buck Britton. An aggressive send until you look at how left fielder Taylor Ward was playing that ball. Almost lackadaisical. Didn't show any attempt to run right through it or get any momentum behind the ball. And you might be saying, it's a little hazy. The grass might be a little bit wet and dewy. Maybe he doesn't trust himself to field that ball cleanly. But it was an easy send for someone like Gunnar. Score standing, made it a 3-2 ball game. We want to talk about the ultimate catalyst in this game. It was Jordan Westburg, bottom 1. O's are trailing 1-0, and Westburg sees fit to challenge Kikuchi with a 9-pitch at-bat, multiple foul balls. Then smokes a ball to third base. Kevin Newman, which is a very NPC name, naturally a shortstop, has a hard time fielding this ball. It eats him up, ricochets off him into left field. And while many league average batters and base runners would see fit to park it at first base and just be happy that they got on base, Westburg keys in on what's happening. He's not exactly booking it to first base and rounding the bag, but then he turns on the jets and is able to beat the throw to second base. So what could have turned into a routine ground out is an opportunity seized and pounced on, almost the equivalent of a double, just a little squibber. Angels are rattled. Kikuchi visibly rattled and leaves a hanging breaking ball to the next batter, Ramón Urías. Into the left field stands for a home run. Urías is second on the homestand and made it a 2-1 ball game, Baltimore Orioles. They would not look back after that. As for Westburg, putting the punctuation mark on this game, pounced on a cutter from Kenley Jansen. Remember that name? His 7th home run of the year, back with a vengeance off the injured list, made it 11-2. Coming up, some expanding brain methods from interim manager Tony Mansolino. Going with an opener or the piggyback method, something that we have been clamoring for on this show for a while now. Scott Buitt gets the starting nod and delivers. Does a heck of a job. The O's, by the way, improved to 15-12 under Tony Mansolino. We'll talk about Buitt. Povich coming in relief as the piggyback man, how that was a great role. And then, not unlikely, a hero that rose to the occasion, Sir Anthony Dominguez. His contributions. All that analyzed right after this break. This is the Baltimore Orioles postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. We stream live to YouTube after every game, and we're available wherever you get your podcasts on demand. Stick with us. Got a new sponsor on the show, and it's OpenPhone. If you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had a service emergency, like a burst pipe. We know about burst pipes on this show. I've only talked about it for the last few supply house ad reads. If the first plumber doesn't answer, do you wait? No. You call the next one. And that's why having a reliable business line is so important. And that's why you need OpenPhone. OpenPhone is the #1 business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from an app on your phone or computer. Personally, this helps me. Having worked jobs that make me have 2 phones. So OpenPhone solves that easily so you can streamline communication. OpenPhone is offering Locked On Orioles listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/lockedonmlb. That's openphone.com/lockedonmlb. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers. Thanks to OpenPhone. I already hinted at our other sponsor today, and I can do that at Supply House. One of these days, I'm going to go back to the DMV and have to fix my laundry machine. It's the site made for the skilled trades, plumbing, HVAC, electrical work. Supply House is the most reliable way to order products online. Website is super clean, super fresh, with an inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands. So you're going to find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. If you need help with an order, there's an expert support and industry-leading service. You're always going to talk to a real person. There's also the free Trademaster program, offering exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled pros are already taking advantage, and now it's your turn. Join the Trademaster program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical with just a few clicks. Plus, use the promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Promo code SH5.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Left-hander Cade Povich was not the starting pitcher today in this 11-2 win over the LA Angels and the Orioles sweep. It is right-hander Scott Buitt, which would, again, push Cade Povich into the first relief outing of his major league career. This, on paper, is a great move, and honestly, a great foresight by Tony Mansolino, trying to optimize the first portion of the game against a primarily right-handed dominant Angels lineup. Scott Buitt is an interesting character. Hadn't given up an earned run in an Orioles uniform up to this point. And while he performed well in a couple outings with the Twins to start this year, before the O's claimed him off waivers, and then after the fact, after the Braves had picked up him from the Orioles, Buitt has also started to pitch beyond his peripherals. The hard hit data and the advanced analytics, the XFIP, all those things that the nerds like to get into, show that Buitt is due for some regression and due to be hit hard. However, he has avoided it, and in a particularly hitter-friendly park like Camden Yards. So that's impressive. Whatever magic, O's magic, mind you, that Drew French and company have concocted, Scott Buitt is the right answer to start this game. Ideally, you have him go 3 innings or however long his pitch count allows for, and then give Cade Povich a clean slate in the third or fourth inning. Didn't quite work out that way. And at first, in the top of the first, Orioles fans might have started biting their fingernails or pounding their fist in the air, yelling at the clouds, if you will, like that Simpsons meme. Gives up a home run to Nolan Schanuel, a high slider at 83, which is not great. Made it a 1-0 ball game for the Angels at the top of the first. But then able to settle down. It's a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the second. Top of the third, strikes out that NPC Kevin Newman on a slider low and away. And with 2 outs, Zach Neto just sneaks one past Jordan Westburg down the third base line for an easy double. And at that point, Schanuel is approaching the batter's box. 2 2/3 innings for Buitt. And that's when Tony Mansolino says it's time to bring in Cade Povich. So Buitt as an opener, 2 2/3 is a little more than an opener. It's more like a piggyback scenario, like one that we have suggested on this show for a while now. It helped out Charlie Morton. To an extent, it helped Dean Kramer in the Tigers series. That one 4-run frame kind of doomed Dino in that outing, but the idea remains the same. And with 2 outs, Povich is in. Allows a single to Schanuel. However, Dylan Carlson comes up firing, plays the ball really well on a hop in left field. So you got runners at the corners. No run scores there. Unfortunately, next batter. Wild pitch. Gets through the wickets of Gary Snchez, and that allows Neto to score. It's a tie game again, 2-2. Mike Trout, mind you, at the plate. First time going up against Cade Povich in this game. And this is where it hangs in the balance. Remember, Trout hit that 2-run home run off the foul pole yesterday. And with 2 strikes, Cade Povich, the left-hander, challenges Trout. Fastball outside at 94. Got him. Got him swinging. On this Father's Day, we can definitively say that Cade Povich was a daddy to the LA Angels. And that's the start of Povich just cruising from there. Trout is the first of 10 batters that the young 25-year-old sets down in a row. Some highlights, getting Jorge Soler low and in on a sweeper. Top of the 5th, as part of a 1-2-3 inning. Kobe Mayo, who had been challenged towards the right field tarp a couple of times earlier in this game, does make a great catch right at the netting in right field. Then Povich freezes Kevin Newman on a fastball high for a strikeout. Top 6, Povich carves up Trout again, this time on a changeup low in a 1-2-3 inning. Unfortunately, the wheels start to come off in the 7th. Povich leaves the bases loaded, singles to Ward and Rengifo, and walks Jorge Soler. So he leaves with 1 out in the top of the 7th. And that's just about where the wheels start to fall off for Cade Povich, right? It's the 3rd and 4th innings that kind of doom him. So if you can at some point shift those 3rd or 4th innings to later in the game when you already have a lead, then the more the merrier. And so that was the case, with the O's leading at this point 5-2, and the bases loaded in the 7th. Optimal time to bring in your best. And Seranthony Dominguez in high leverage situations has been just that. Falls behind 2-0 on Joe Adell. Comes back with a fastball and breaking ball to even up the count, and then freezes him 3-2 on a sweeper outside for a strikeout. Lamont Wade comes in to pinch hit, and he fans on a splitter low. And what could have been the turning point of this game, not quite. Seranthony Dominguez stands tall, keeps the O's well ahead. So for Cade Povich, it's his first win at home this season. Camden Yards had plagued him. But 3 2/3 innings for Povich, 3 hits, No runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. And so the O's are riding high. They've won 3 games in a row. And this is where the fun begins. It's all about this divisional play moving forward. 4 at Tampa Bay at Steinbrenner Field, then 3 at the Bronx against the New York Yankees. It is do or die time. This next stretch of 7 games, part of a 16-game stretch. This is everything. This is what you signed up for. And it starts tomorrow night on Masson 2, 7:35 first pitch at Steinbrenner Field against the Tampa Bay Rays. No set pitching matchup yet for the Orioles. But that's where we find ourselves. I want to say thank you for joining me here on this Father's Day. And before we go, a shout out to all the fathers out there. My dad was instrumental in helping me love the game of baseball and hockey as well, growing up here in the Midwest, where I find myself now in St. Louis. And a shout out to all the fathers who have made this possible. Any dads tuning in right now or listening on demand the next day or watching, go ahead, leave a comment. Maybe share your favorite memory with your father or with your son. Go ahead in the comment section. Let me know what it means to be a dad or what your father has meant to you. If you still have the opportunity to cherish them and tell your dad that you love them, please do that. And make this day special for them. Try to make every day special for your father. If you have played the role of a father figure for someone who doesn't have one, you're an incredible grace and just the best thing about life itself. Someone in their life who needed a leader and you stepped up. Or maybe you've had someone play the role of father for you, a stepfather, a father figure, a mentor, someone like that. This day's for you, and we owe this one to you. So thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate it. Final score tonight, the Baltimore Orioles 11 and the Los Angeles Angels 2. Good night, stay safe, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow night.